Have you ever felt like you're standing at the edge of something incredible, but there's a voice in your head holding you back? That voice can be your greatest enemy, and when he contacts you, it's easy to make the wrong choice. Today, we're diving deep into the key mistake many people make when faced with a life-changing opportunity. This mistake could cost you everything you've worked for, and I don't want that to happen to you. Let's break it down. You see, fear is a powerful thing. It creeps into your mind, locks you in a cage of doubt, and tells you all the reasons why you can't do it. Fear will tell you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that you're not qualified, that you'll fail. It's a liar. Fear is the thing that stops you from stepping into your greatness, from chasing the opportunities that are right in front of you, from reaching the potential that you know is inside of you. And when that phone rings, when that person reaches out, when that moment of opportunity knocks on your door, fear will try to stop you. It will make you hesitate, make you second guess yourself, make you wonder if you're making the right choice. But here's the truth: you cannot let fear guide your decisions. Fear is a natural response. It's your mind's way of protecting you, of keeping you safe from harm. But here's the thing about safety: it's overrated. Safety is a place where dreams go to die. Safety is the place where comfort zones become prisons. Because when you let fear control you, you stay right where you are. You stay stuck. You stay in the same place, never moving forward, never growing. And I know that's not what you want. Deep down, you know that's not why you're here. You didn't come this far just to let fear hold you back. You didn't wake up every day putting in the work, doing everything you've done just to play it safe when the moment of truth arrives. When the opportunity presents itself, you have two choices. You can listen to that voice of fear and play small, or you can rise up, take that chance, and show the world what you're really made of. And let me tell you, when you take that leap, when you step out in spite of fear, that's when you discover who you really are. That's when you find out just how strong you really are. That's when you realize that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. But you have to make the decision. You have to decide right now, in this moment, that fear will not control you. You have to make the decision that no matter what happens, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many setbacks you face, you will not let fear stop you. Because fear will show up. It will show up in your mind. It will show up in your heart. It will show up in your gut telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that it's too late, that you'll fail. But listen to me, failure is not the worst thing that can happen to you. The worst thing that can happen is that you never try. The worst thing that can happen is that you let fear keep you from taking action. You have to understand that fear doesn't care about your potential. Fear doesn't care about your dreams. Fear doesn't care about the people who depend on you or the legacy you're trying to build. Fear doesn't care about any of that. All fear wants to do is keep you stuck. But you have a choice. You can choose to stand up to that fear. You can choose to face it head on. And when you do, when you decide that you're not going to let fear control you, you'll realize that the thing you were most afraid of was never as big or as powerful as you thought. I'm telling you, fear is a trickster. It's a thief that robs you of your future. It tells you lies, it whispers in your ear, it tries to convince you that you're not enough. But you are enough. You are more than enough. The greatness inside of you is waiting to be unleashed, but it can't come out if you keep listening to fear. Fear keeps you small. It keeps you locked up in a little box, hiding from the world, from the person you were meant to become. But when you face fear, when you stare it down, when you tell it that it has no power over you, that's when you start to break free. That's when you start to soar. And here's the real power of it: fear doesn't disappear. It doesn't just vanish, but it becomes a lot less scary when you stop running from it. When you stop letting it dictate your life, it loses its power. And then you'll find something even more powerful: courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward in spite of fear. It's the decision to keep going even when you don't feel like it, even when it seems too hard, even when the odds are stacked against you. Courage is the fuel that will keep you moving when everything around you says quit. So when that phone rings, when he contacts you, don't let fear make the decision for you. Don't let fear talk you out of the opportunity. Don't let fear keep you from becoming the person you were meant to be. You've got what it takes. You always have. It's time to step up and face that fear, because you are stronger than it. The only way to win is to take that first step, no matter how scary it might seem. And once you take it, you'll see the fear wasn't as strong as you thought. It was just a test. And you passed. Listen to me, life doesn't reward the person who chooses comfort, who chooses what's easy, who chooses what feels good in the moment. It rewards the person who can see beyond the instant, the person who is willing to sacrifice what's good for what's great. Instant gratification is one of the biggest traps we fall into, especially when an opportunity comes knocking. You see, we live in a world where everything is about getting what we want now. We want the results without the work. We want the fame without the struggle. We want the wealth without the hustle. We want the love without the sacrifice. But that's not how life works. The truth is, if you're only chasing what feels good in the moment, you're setting yourself up for failure. Real success doesn't come from taking the easy road. It comes from taking the hard road, the one that requires you to push through, to endure, to be patient. When that phone rings, when that person reaches out, don't make the mistake of jumping at the first opportunity just because it feels good. Don't take the path that seems easiest. Don't make decisions based on what will bring you temporary satisfaction. It's easy to get caught up in the rush, in the excitement of new things, of new opportunities, but the real reward comes from choosing the path that challenges you. It comes from choosing the journey that forces you to grow, to stretch, to become better. Real success is not about the quick win, it's about the long haul. It's about putting in the work, day after day, even when it's hard, even when you don't see immediate results. That's how you build something lasting. That's how you build something real. Now, let me tell you something, success, the kind that lasts, the kind that matters, is built on discipline, patience, and sacrifice. It's built on the things you do when no one is watching, when there's no applause, no immediate payoff. It's about doing the hard work even when it seems like nobody cares, even when the results aren't showing up the way you thought they would. It's about being willing to stay the course, even when you can't see the finish line. And here's the kicker: when you choose the path that requires real effort, real struggle, real sacrifice, you develop something that nobody can take away from you: resilience. You build the kind of character that can withstand anything life throws at you. That's the kind of strength that creates real success. But the world doesn't want to tell you that. The world wants to tell you that if you just follow the quick and easy path, you'll get there faster. But it's a lie. The quick and easy path is a dead end. It's an illusion. Because while you might get a little taste of success, it won't last. You'll find yourself back at square one, looking for the next quick fix, the next shortcut. That's not the path to greatness. Greatness requires you to be patient, to wait for the rewards that come with the long, hard journey. It requires you to stay focused on your goal, even when the temptation to give up is overwhelming. It requires you to put in the work, even when the results aren't immediate, even when you feel like nothing is happening. You need to understand that success is not instant. Success takes time. It takes effort. It takes grit. And if you want to get to the place you've been dreaming about, you've got to be willing to put in the work, even when it's hard, even when it feels like nobody notices, even when you're exhausted, even when you feel like giving up. Success isn't handed to you on a silver platter. It's earned through sweat, through sacrifice, through enduring the pain and pushing through the struggle. You don't get what you want by taking the easy way out. You get what you want by being willing to fight for it, to keep going when it seems impossible, to keep working when you feel like quitting. When that phone rings, when that person reaches out with an opportunity that seems easy, that promises instant gratification, ask yourself, is this the path that will challenge me? Is this the path that will force me to grow? Is this the path that will help me become the person I'm meant to be? Or is this just another shortcut, another quick fix that will leave me empty in the end? Don't get distracted by the easy road. Don't fall for the lie that instant success is real success. Real success takes time. It takes work. It takes perseverance. It takes the willingness to keep going, even when the road is long and hard. So when that opportunity knocks, don't just jump at it because it feels good in the moment. Look at it through the lens of what it will take to get you to where you want to go. Ask yourself if it's worth the long-term sacrifice. And if it is, then go for it. But don't make the mistake of thinking that success is something that happens overnight. It's something you have to build piece by piece, day by day, until one day you look back and realize you've created something amazing. Let me tell you something about overthinking. It's one of the most dangerous things you can do to yourself. It's a trap, and it's a trap that keeps you stuck in the same place. Overthinking makes you question every move, second guess every decision, and paralyze yourself with doubt. You sit there, going in circles, thinking about every possible outcome, every possible mistake you could make, every reason why it might not work. You're so caught up in your head that you forget to take action. And you know what happens when you don't take action? Nothing. Nothing happens. That's the harsh truth. When that phone rings, when that opportunity comes knocking, don't fall into the trap of overthinking. Don't sit there and analyze every possible outcome to the point where you talk yourself out of doing anything at all. Because overthinking doesn't make you smarter. It doesn't make you more prepared. And it sure as hell doesn't bring you closer to success. All it does is paralyze you. It keeps you in your head, and nothing ever gets done when you're trapped in your thoughts. You want to know what separates the people who succeed from the people who don't? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the ability to make decisions and take action, even when you don't have all the answers, even when the road ahead is unclear. The people who succeed don't waste time overthinking. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect solution. They act, they make decisions, and they move forward. And if they make a mistake, so what? They learn from it. They keep moving. They don't let the fear of making a wrong choice stop them. They don't let the possibility of failure hold them back. But when you overthink, you stop moving. You stop progressing. You start convincing yourself that you need to have everything figured out before you can take that first step. But that's a lie. You'll never have everything figured out. Life doesn't work that way. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be challenges. There will always be things you don't know. But that's where the growth happens. It happens when you step out into the unknown, when you take that leap even though you don't have all the answers. The truth is, you don't need to know everything to take action. You don't need a perfect plan to start. You just need to start. I know it's tempting to sit there and think about every detail, every possible risk, every consequence, but listen to me, if you're always waiting for the perfect moment to act, you're going to be waiting forever. You're going to be stuck in the same spot, never moving forward, never growing, because you're too busy overthinking. You'll be watching opportunities pass you by, while you sit there paralyzed, trying to figure out the perfect way to proceed. And by the time you've figured it out, that opportunity will be gone, and you'll be left wondering what could have been. So stop thinking about it so much. Stop getting caught up in the what ifs and start doing. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to take that first step. You need to act. The more you wait, the more you doubt, the more you overthink, the further away you get from your goals. You're not getting closer to success by thinking about it. You're getting closer by doing something about it. And let me be clear, taking action doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. You will. You're going to fail, you're going to stumble, you're going to make wrong turns along the way. But that's not the point. The point is that you're moving forward. The point is that you're learning. The point is that you're growing. Every step you take, every action you take, is a step toward progress. You learn more from making mistakes and correcting course than you do from sitting there wondering what could have happened. If you don't act, you'll never know what you're capable of. You'll never know how far you can go. And you'll never achieve anything. The people who succeed are the ones who are willing to take that first step, even if they don't have it all figured out. They take the leap, they trust themselves, and they keep going. They don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. They don't waste time overthinking every move. They act, they adjust, and they keep moving forward. So the next time that phone rings, the next time that opportunity knocks, don't sit there overthinking. Don't waste time wondering if it's the right move, if you're making the right choice. Just take action. Trust yourself. And remember, this action is the only way to break free from the prison of your own thoughts. When you act, you free yourself from the chains of overthinking, and you start moving toward the life you were meant to live. You've got to learn to say no. You've got to understand that saying no isn't a weakness. Saying no isn't about turning down opportunity, it's about protecting your energy, your time, your focus. Too many of us have been taught to say yes to everything, to take every opportunity that comes our way, to please everyone, to do what's asked of us, whether it aligns with our purpose or not. But I'm telling you, that's a trap. Saying yes to everything might make you feel good in the moment, but it will eventually leave you drained, burnt out, and unfulfilled. You've got to get comfortable with saying no, and you've got to understand that every yes you give to something that doesn't serve your purpose is a no. Not to the things that really matter. When that phone rings, when that person reaches out, you've got to ask yourself, is this in alignment with who I'm trying to become? Is this in line with my values, my vision, my goals? If it's not, you've got to say no. And that's not easy. I know. Saying no can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like you're letting someone down, like you're missing out, like you're turning away an opportunity. But the truth is, saying no to the wrong things is the only way you can say yes to the right things. If you don't say no, you'll find yourself pulled in a million different directions, chasing every shiny object that comes your way, but you won't be able to focus on what truly matters. The people who succeed aren't the people who say yes to everything. They're the people who know how to say no. They're the people who understand that every opportunity isn't for them. They're the people who are willing to say no, not because they don't want success, but because they want the right kind of success. They want success that's aligned with their purpose, with their dreams, with their vision for their life. And that requires a level of discipline and self-respect that most people don't understand. When you say no, you're telling the world that your time, your energy, and your focus are precious. You're telling the world that you're not willing to waste it on things that don't serve your greater purpose. Listen, I know how hard it is. I know how easy it is to get caught up in the desire to please others, to take on everything, to try to be everything to everyone. But here's the reality: you can't be everything to everyone. You can't do everything. And if you try, you'll end up doing nothing of value. You'll spread yourself so thin that you won't have the energy or the focus to do anything well. You'll be running in circles, trying to keep up with every demand, every request, every opportunity. And in the end, you'll have nothing to show for it but exhaustion and frustration. And you know what's worse than saying no? Saying yes to things that take you off your path. Saying yes to things that pull you away from your goals, from your vision, from what you truly want to achieve. Saying yes to things that don't align with your values or your mission will only hold you back. You'll be wasting time on things that don't matter, and you'll be missing out on the things that do. Success doesn't come from being busy, it comes from being focused. And focus means saying no to the distractions, saying no to the things that don't serve you, saying no to the things that take you away from your purpose. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with helping people. There's nothing wrong with taking on opportunities that align with your vision. That will help you grow. That will help you move forward. But you've got to be wise about it. You've got to learn to differentiate between what will help you grow and what will pull you away from your growth. Every opportunity isn't meant for you. Every person who asks something of you isn't entitled to your time. And you have to be okay with that. You've got to be okay with disappointing people sometimes. Because by saying no to them, you're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to your purpose, yes to your goals, yes to your growth. And let me tell you something: when you learn to say no, when you learn to protect your time and your energy, something incredible happens. You start attracting the right opportunities. You start attracting the right people into your life. You start getting clear on what truly matters. You start getting focused, and that focus leads to progress. That progress leads to success. And that success, that's the kind of success that lasts. That's the kind of success that's built on a foundation of purpose, discipline, and self-respect. So, when that phone rings, when that person contacts you, don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to turn down the things that don't serve you. Say no, not because you don't want success, but because you want the right kind of success. And the more you do it, the stronger you'll become in your ability to focus on what truly matters. You've got to get comfortable with discomfort. Success is not about living a life of ease, of comfort, of always feeling good. It's not about waking up every day with everything lined up perfectly, with everything going the way you want it to go. No, success is about pushing through the discomfort, It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone, even when every part of you wants to stay where it's safe. Growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. Growth happens when you're stretched, when you're challenged, when you're uncomfortable. And if you're not willing to face discomfort, if you're not willing to embrace the struggle, then you'll never reach your full potential. You'll never become the person you were meant to be. When that phone rings, when that person reaches out, and you're faced with an opportunity that scares you, that makes you uncomfortable, that makes you question whether you're really ready for it, that's when you need to lean in. That's when you need to step up and embrace the discomfort. Because it's in those moments, in the moments when you're most uncomfortable, when you're most afraid, that the real growth happens. If you run away from those moments, if you shy away from the things that scare you, you'll be stuck. You'll be stuck in the same place, with the same limitations, with the same fears, and nothing will ever change. Comfort is a trap. It's a trap that keeps you stuck in the same cycle, playing small, never taking the risks that could change your life. The truth is, the moment you get too comfortable, that's when you stop growing. That's when you start to stagnate. You've got to be willing to put yourself in situations that make you nervous, that make you unsure of yourself, because that's where the magic happens. It's not about avoiding discomfort. It's about learning to handle it. It's about learning to thrive in it. Because here's the thing, discomfort doesn't last forever. It's temporary. But the growth, the strength, the lessons you gain from pushing through it, that lasts. And that's what will set you apart. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you become stronger. You become more capable. You learn things about yourself that you never knew existed. But if you stay where it's comfortable, if you stay in the same place, you'll never discover what you're really capable of. You'll never know how far you can go. You'll never know what's on the other side of that fear, that uncertainty, that discomfort. But I can tell you this, the other side is where the success lies. The other side is where the breakthrough happens. The other side is where your dreams become reality. But you'll never get there if you keep avoiding the discomfort. Success is not for the faint of heart. Success is not for the people who only want the easy route. Success is for the people who are willing to take the hard road, the people who are willing to take the hard road, the people who are willing to endure the pain, the struggle, the uncertainty, the people who can look at the discomfort, look at the challenge and say, bring it on. I'm ready. I'm not afraid of you. It's the people who are willing to step up and face the unknown, who are willing to put in the work, who are willing to get uncomfortable, who will ultimately find success. But it's not going to be handed to you. You've got to go after it. And that means stepping outside of your comfort zone every single day. When that phone rings, when that opportunity knocks, don't be afraid to take it just because it feels uncomfortable. Don't let the fear of discomfort hold you back. Embrace it. Welcome it. Because on the other side of that discomfort is a life you've always dreamed of. On the other side is the person you've always wanted to become. But you've got to push through the discomfort to get there. You've got to face it head on, no matter how hard it is, no matter how many times you stumble, no matter how many times you fail. Because failure is part of the process. It's not a roadblock, it's a lesson. It's not a dead end, it's a stepping stone. Every failure, every setback, every moment of discomfort is shaping you into the person you need to be to achieve the success you want. So stop avoiding the hard stuff. Stop avoiding the challenges that scare you. The only way to truly grow is to put yourself in positions that stretch you, that make you feel uncomfortable, that force you to face your fears. You've got what it takes to handle it. You've got the strength, the resilience, the heart to push through. And when you do, when you keep moving forward, even when it's hard, even when it feels impossible, you'll look back and realize it was all worth it. Because the person you become in the process is the real reward. And that person is unstoppable. I want you to understand this: timing is everything. Success isn't just about the right moves, the right choices, the right work. It's about knowing when to make those moves. It's about knowing when to act, when to hold back, when to take that leap, and when to be patient. Timing is the difference between success and failure, between opportunity and missed chances. But let me tell you something, timing isn't just about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating that moment. It's about being ready when it comes, being prepared when opportunity knocks, and having the courage to act when the time is right. And I'm telling you, too many people sit around waiting for the perfect timing, thinking that everything will just align perfectly, that they'll somehow know when the time is right. that's a mistake. Because timing is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. It's about getting yourself ready. It's about putting in the work, staying focused, staying disciplined, and staying patient. The right time doesn't just show up on its own. You have to put yourself in a position where you're ready to seize it. You have to be working towards your goals, putting in the hours, learning the lessons, doing the work, and when the right moment comes, you'll know it. You'll recognize it. You won't hesitate, you won't question it. You'll be ready to take that shot because you prepared yourself for it. And when that moment comes, you can't let fear hold you back. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong move. You can't let those things stop you because in that moment, all you have is your preparation and your willingness to take action. It's the people who are ready when the timing is right who succeed. It's the people who understand that timing isn't a passive thing, it's an active thing. You make your own timing. You make your own opportunities. And you do that by staying focused, by staying consistent, by putting in the work even when it feels like nothing is happening, even when the results aren't immediate. You keep pushing, you keep grinding, and when that moment arrives, you're ready. And that's what sets the successful people apart from the ones who never make it. It's the ones who take action when they're ready, when they've put in the time, when they've paid the price. It's the ones who recognize that success is built on preparation, not waiting. You've got to make your own timing. You've got to create your own opportunities by showing up every day and doing the work. You've got to trust the process. Trust that what you're doing will pay off. Trust that all those small steps are leading you to something bigger. Now, let me tell you about patience. Patience isn't about sitting around doing nothing. It's about continuing to move forward, continuing to take action, even when things are slow, even when it feels like you're not making progress. It's about having faith that the work you're putting in today will pay off tomorrow, next month, next year. Patience is about knowing that every step you take, every effort you make, is getting you closer to the place you want to be. You might not see it now. You might not see the results right away, but trust me, they're coming. The timing is right, it just hasn't manifested yet. That's why you've got to stay the course. You've got to keep going, keep working, keep grinding, even when the results are slow, even when the road is long. Because that's when you build resilience. That's when you build character. That's when you get to the place where you can look back and see how far you've come, how much you've grown, and know that it was all worth it. But when that phone rings, when that person reaches out, when that opportunity presents itself, you better be ready. Don't wait for it to come around again. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because there's no such thing. The perfect moment is the one you create by putting in the work, by staying patient, by staying focused, and by trusting the process. The timing is never going to be perfect, but it will always be right if you're prepared. When the time comes, you've got to act. You've got to seize the opportunity, because that's the moment that you've been waiting for. And it's not a moment that just falls into your lap. It's a moment that you've earned by putting in the effort, by being ready when it arrives. So stop waiting for the stars to align. Stop waiting for the perfect timing. Create your own timing by being prepared, by staying committed, by doing the work every single day. And when that opportunity knocks, don't hesitate. Step up, take action, and trust that you've put in the work to make it happen. Because timing is everything, and when it's right, you'll know it. And you'll be ready to make your move.